Hello everyone, I hope you are having a super day. Will be covering Module 4, Creating Forms and Reports today in this video. Again, Module 4, Creating Forms and Reports. It's on page AC 223 in your textbook. It is the review assignment at the end of Module 4, page AC 223. You will need two data files for this. You will need the database that was covered in chapters 1, 2, and 3. This will be the last chapter that we will need this one, called Vendor. And you will also need a picture called items.png, which can be found in the student files in Blackboard. So if you get those two things ready, you might want to pause this video and then continue it once you get those two files ready. But I've got them on my desktop already, so I'm going to continue. So just pause this and get back to it when you get those ready. Again, it is the vendor database and the items.png picture located in student files on Blackboard. Okay, here we go. Step 1. Open the vendor database you created and worked in previous modules. So I'll find my vendor on my desktop. And then click the Enable Content button next to the security warning if necessary. And I'm not seeing that, so it's not necessary for me. Step 2, use the Form Wizard. So I go to Create. That's where I create everything new. And I'm going to use the option of Form Wizard right here. I click. Remember, a wizard is something that walks you step by step through the process. Use the Form Wizard to create a form based on the product table. So make sure where it says table/queries, it says table product there. If you need to, drop it the arrow down and pick table product. Select all fields for the form. So we're going to use the double arrows to select all of them and throw them over to the right. Whatever's in the right white box is what's going to be used for the form. So we run them all over using the double arrow. I'm going to click Next. Here's where I can pick the layout, and the instructions call for me to pick the columnar layout. Columnar layout. So I make sure the dot's next to that. I click Next. What title do you want it? They're illustrating in the instructions to call this Product Data without any spaces. Product Data, all one word. And then click Finish. And there we go. That's step number 2. Step 3, apply the Ion theme to the product data form only. Okay, this requires me to go to Design View for this form. So I'm going to go on the Home ribbon. I'm going to go to the far left where it says View, drop that arrow down, and pick Design View. Okay? Up at the top in my Design ribbon, Form Design Tools, Design ribbon, I have Themes. And I'm going to drop this arrow down and find the theme. They want me to apply the Ion, I-O-N theme to the product data form only. So I find the Ion theme, which is the first one in row, I'll call that row 2. But I have to right-click on it. Don't left-click on it to select it at this point. You want to right-click because we want to select Apply Theme to this object only. The instructions say for the product data form only. So I select that, and there we go. Okay, that was step 3. Step 4, insert the items picture, which is located, as I said, in student files, but right now it's located on my desktop, into the product data form. So I have a couple of options here, but the way the book had you do it in the textbook, as you were reading the chapter, we go to Logo. Then I'm going to go to the desktop because that's where I have saved it, and it's called items.png. I'm going to select it and click OK. And as you can see, it puts it right on top of my title at this particular point. But let me go ahead and complete the instructions here. It says insert the items picture. Then after that, it says remove the picture from the control layout. What that oh my goodness. What that requires me to do is to right click right on the picture. Right click, and you're going to go to Layout and say Remove Layout. So the instructions say remove the picture from the control layout. Right click, go down to Layout, and click on Remove Layout. Then it says move the picture to the right of the form title. So I put my pointer right on top of the picture and I get 4 arrows, up, down, left, right. Works like a suction cup. I click and hold down the left side of my mouse, and I'm going to move that so that it's ever so slightly to the right of my title, maybe 2 rows of dots. Let go, and I have successfully moved the picture. Okay, that was step 4. Step 5, edit the form title so that it appears as product space data, 2 words. So first I'm going to come up here and click between the T and the D and hit my space bar. Okay. Resize the title box as necessary so that the title appears on a single line. Okay, so first I'm going to click outside of it because I was done fixing the title. If I click here, I can use my sizing handle. Sizing handle is this little button right on the right side of the control, and I can click and hold down the left side of my mouse and actually drag that out to the right a little bit, maybe not so far, so that they all appear on one line. The product data, those 2 words, appear on one line. And if necessary, you can move your picture even a little bit more now so that it is still to the right of the complete title. Okay? So we changed it to 2 words. It caused it to be on 2 separate lines. We moved this control out a little bit by using that little control handle right there and resized it, and then moved the picture a little bit. Okay? So step 5, edit the form title so that it appears as product data, 2 words. Done. Resize the title box as necessary so the title appears on a single line. Done. And then change the font color of the form title to the gray 25 background to darker 75 theme color. So if I click on this, I can go to Format and my text colors here. Theme colors are right here. It says light gray. I was practicing this a little bit earlier, and it doesn't say just gray. It says light gray. So that might have been a typo in the instructions. So I'm looking for, go down the list here. This one says light gray background, darker 50%. They want 75, so I'm going to go down one more, and there it is. So the only difference between this and the instructions is the word light. But I'm going to go ahead and click on it and select it. Next step, that was step 5. Step 6, resize the weight in pounds field value box so it is the same width approximately as the unit case field box. We have 2 controls. Notice it says product ID and then product ID, supplier ID, supplier ID. The ones where you can see the dots in the background, that is known as your label control. The ones over in the white have kind of 2 names to it. They're called the field value box, or also referred to as the text boxes. That's where the data actually appears. All right, so this one is saying to change the field size box of the price. Let's see. Resize the weight in pounds. I'm sorry, this one right here, weight in pounds. They want me to resize the value box so it is the same size as the unit case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the sizing handle again, just like we did for the title, on the right edge, and I get 2 arrows, left and right. I'm going to click and hold down the left side of my mouse and drag that until that it's right on about the same size as the units right above it, and resize that. Okay? So that is step number 6. Step 7, change the alignment of the price, units, and weight fields so that their values appear left aligned in the value field boxes. Remember, the white ones are your value field. So we're going to select all 3 of these. Now there's a couple of ways to do this, but let me show you an interesting way of doing this. If I click below weight, and hold down the left side of my mouse and drag up and put that little box so that it's over all three of those controls, and then let go, it selects all three of them so that what I do now will affect all three of them. Let me do that again. Click a little bit below weight, hold down the left side of your mouse, and with the left side of your mouse held down, move your mouse up, and that will select all three controls. Pretty cool, because now I can go up here to the Format ribbon under Form Design Tools and choose Left Align, and that's exactly what they wanted me to do. Okay? So that was step number 7. Step 8, save your changes to the form design. So let's save it. And that's all we have to do for step 8. Okay? Step 9, use the product data form to update the product table as follows. So we're going to have to go to the Home ribbon and go back to Form View. Okay, here we go. Step 9A. Use the find command to search for the word premium anywhere in the product name field. So we're going to go to product name and we're going to click in that field so it knows that's the field we want to search by. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to text filters. Now there's a couple of different ways to do this. So the textbook might have you go a different way, like using this magnifying glass up here called find. But this is the way I'm going to do it. Text filters, and I want to have or choose the option contains, because it says search for the word premium anywhere in the product name field. So in other words, it could be at the beginning, could be in the middle, could be at the end. So contains will help me out here. And I type in there premium. Okay? Premium. And it's not case sensitive, so don't worry about that at all if you're wondering that question. I click OK. And it tells me that there are 10 records that have premium somewhere in the name. So let me continue with 9A. Use the find command to search for the word premium anywhere in the product name field, and then display the record for the premium puppy food. So let me just search. I'm going to use my right next record button until I find premium puppy food. So let me continue on here. Oh, there it is, premium puppy food. And then it wants me to change the price to $44 instead of $39. So I'm going to highlight what's in there and type 44. Okay? Now it says add a new record with the following field values. New record, I can use this button down here that says new blank record. So I'll click on that. And my product ID they want me to type into, so I'm on 9B in the instructions on page AC223. The product ID is CT200. The supplier ID is KLS321. Product name is cloth tape roll. My price for this is $24. If I type 24 in there, don't worry about typing the dollar sign or anything. The units case is 10. The weight in pounds is 4. Temp control is no, so I'm going to leave it unchecked. And sterile is no, so we're going to leave that unchecked. Okay? It says here, use the form to view each record with a product ID value that starts with CT. So first I'm going to remove the filter that I currently have. So all I have to do is click down here on this filter, or some people refer to that as a martini glass. I'm going to click on that, and all my records are showing again. 1 of 52. I got 52 records. But now it's saying to find only those that start, the product ID, the top one, starts with CT. So if I right-click in this box, I can go to Text Filters, Begins with. I can type CT. Again, it's not case sensitive. Hit Enter, and I see that there are 3 records that actually start with CT. All right, let's remove the filter. It doesn't tell me to do that, but I'm going to remove the filter. Step 9D says Save and Close. Save and Close. All right. We're already done with 9 steps just creating that one form. Step 10, use the form wizard to create a form containing a main form and a subform. Select, okay, so here we go. We're going to go to Create and Form Wizard. It says select all fields from the supplier table. So make sure it says supplier table up here. Change it if you need to, which I did. So now it says table supplier. Select all the fields. So I use the double arrows. Select all fields from the supplier table for the main form and select, so now we're going to select from the product table. So I'm going to go back up here and click on table product. Make sure that you're on the very last record of the supplier table that you chose. So don't click up here on address. You want to be down here on initial contact when you do this. Okay. It says select all fields from the supplier table and select product ID. So I'm going to double click. Told you I'm a double clicker. Product ID, product name, price, temp control, and sterile. In that order, from the product table for the subform. Use the datasheet layout, so we're going to click Next. Nothing we do here except look at it if you want. This is showing you that the main form are the fields that are up here, and in this little box down here, that's your subform. So everything looks good. Click Next. They tell me to select the datasheet layout. I will. Click Next. Oh, we're on the finish flag. It says specify the title, suppliers and products. Supplier, so I'm going to keep that word and click at the end of it, and products. Okay, and then for the subform, they want that one to be called product subform, which it is, but no space. So let's take the space out. All right, click Finish, and there you go. So you're seeing this is your main form, this is the company and everything else, and this is the products that they have available to us. All right, Step 11. Step 11, change the form title text to supplier space and space products. So again, I'm going to go back to Design View to do this. I'm going to click between the R and the A up here and add a space, and between the D and the P and add a space. And then I'll click outside of that to select it. That's all we do for Step 11. Step 12. Step 12 gets a little tricky here. Resize the subform by widening it from its right side, increasing its width by approximately 1 inch. And then resize all columns in the subform to their best fit, working left to right. Navigate through each record in the main form to make sure that all the field values in the subform are completely displayed. Resizing the subform columns and subform itself is necessary. Save and close the supplier and products form. Wow. All right, so here's what we do. I know that I'm going to have to move this over. You're going to have to just trust me on that. So I'm going to select the product, this box right here that says product. I'm going to go right to the edge, and I get 4 arrows, left, right, up, and down. And I'm going to click and drag that to the left just a little bit, like that. And then I'm going to move this to about the 9-inch mark on my ruler, maybe about right there, like that. So I went to the right to the edge, clicked and held down the left side of my mouse and dragged it to the 9. And now I'm going to resize this subform. So I'm going to click on it. I've got a little sizing handle right in the middle of the right side, 2 arrows pointing left and right. I'm going to click and drag that out to about right there, just to give myself some more room. Okay? All right. I might have to move this side over just a little bit because it looks like my label's getting cut off here. So, and then move this over. So I'm just doing some cosmetics. I'm trying to get things lined up to help me with what they want me to do next. So resize it as best you can. I went over to about the 9-inch mark on my ruler over here. Looks like I went a little beyond the 9-inch. Okay. I might move this over just a little bit more this way. Well, see, now I can't do that, so I'll move it back. I don't want to lose the label for this subform, so we'll just leave it as product at this point. All right, let's go take a look at what it looks like out here. So I go to View, Form View. There it is, okay? But look down here, my columns are a little bit wider than they need to be. So I'm going to put my pointer and double click and resize all of these. So I put my pointer right between product ID and product name on that little crease and double click. Does the column fit? Same here, product name, double click, price, double click on temp control and sterile. Now, that's okay for record number 1. But I might have some records that have a bigger product name to have to resize this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my next record button and see this one. I got to expand my product name a little bit in order for me to see the entire product name. So we're going to continue through all 20 records just to make sure that everything is sized correctly. That one looks like it's okay. I might double click on price just to expand it a little bit. Yeah, there we go. I'll go to record 4. Now again, product name has to be resized. You want to get it to the biggest of all your records. Go to 5. That looks okay. 6 is okay. 7. 8 might need to be expanded just a little bit. Not much, but we'll automatically do it. Okay. 9. Okay. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. Need to expand product name even a little bit more. Okay. 15, 16, 17, maybe a little bit more. 18, 19, 20. All right, we got it. We did that big step number 12. Save and close. So let's save it and close it. Good job. Excellent. All right, I'm turning to the next page. I'm on now page AC224. Step 13 at the very top. Use the report wizard. So again, I go to create, and now I'm using the report wizard. Use the report wizard to create a report based on the primary supplier table and the related product table. So first I'm going to go to supply, because that's the fields they list first. So I go to table supplier, and from this one it says select the supplier ID, the company, the city, the category, the contact first, contact last, and phone fields in that order from the supplier table. And then we're going to change it to say table product up here. Okay. And from this one, we're going to take product ID, product name, price, and units. Wow, lots of fields. Now, again, let me just remind you, you could not do this if you didn't set your relationships correctly. It's that relationship that we established back in Chapter 2 that allows me to pick all of these fields from different tables. Okay? I'm going to continue through the wizard. Here, again, it's just showing me the view of the report. Click Next. Here, it says, do you want any grouping? And according to the instructions, it says, do not specify any additional grouping levels. So we're okay here. Click Next. It does say to sort, though, the detailed records in ascending order by product ID. So we want to pick product ID, and we want it to be ascending. By the way, if you wanted this to be descending, you would just click on it once, descending, click on it again, so you can get it to whichever way by clicking on that. So we're there, sort the detailed records in ascending order by product ID. It says next, choose the outline layout. So we'll put the dot next to outline. And portrait orientation, there already is. And click Next. Up there's the check mark. We know we're done, but we have to specify a title. The title they want me to put is Product by, all one word, Supplier. Okay. Click OK, or Finish, I should say. Finish. There's our report. Step 14. Change the report title. So we have to close out a print preview. It automatically takes you into print preview once you go through the report wizard. So I want to close Print Preview. I'm back into Design View now. Step 14 says change the report title so that there are spaces between product. So I click between the T and the B, add a space, and a space between the Y and the S. And click outside of it. Okay, so that was 14, simply to change the title. 15, apply the Ion theme to the product by suppliers report only. Same thing that we did last time. We're going to go to themes right here. We're going to find Ion, which is in the same location. Right click and apply theme to this object only. Okay. Step 16, resize and reposition the following objects in the report in layout view. So we got to go to layout view. Okay, so we're in layout view. It says, then scroll through the report to make sure all the field labels and field values are fully displayed. 16A, resize the report title so the text of the title, products by supplier, is fully displayed. So I click here, I go to the right edge, I get a double arrow there, I click and drag it out just a little bit, maybe a little bit more. You can just kind of do a little bit at a time until you see the entire title, product by supplier. All right, that was step 16A. 16B, move the product name field label, that's this one right here, field label, and field, so we want both of these. So I click on product name and hold down my control key and select the one underneath it. This is the field name, the field value, the label control, and this is your field value. Label control, field value. So it says move the product name field label and value box to the right a bit. Be sure not to move them too far so that the longest product name will still be completely visible. So let's just move these. Whoops. So what I want to do is select both of them. Okay. Get my suction cup, the 4 arrows there. Click and drag just to the right a little bit, which it's not. Oh, I went too far. See, I was hoping that it would show it to me as I was doing it. So that's too far, so I'm going to move them back. Okay, I'm going to do a bunch of undos. Undo, undo, scroll back up, and let's try that again. Okay, select, select, move ever so slightly. So that's good enough. I just moved them ever so slightly to the right. I messed this up in practice as well, so you would have thought I would have gotten it. But you want to click on both of them, click on one, hold down your control key, select the other so they're both selected at the same time, and then just move them ever so slightly to the right as it says in the instructions. It doesn't really show you what it would look like as you're moving it, which is kind of a little problem, I think. I think I would like to see that. Step C, 16C, resize the product ID field label from its right side. So let's find product ID. This is product ID right here. Field label from its right side, increasing its width slightly so the label is fully displayed. So I'm going to move this ever so slightly to the right, maybe even a little bit more, and there we go. Well, even more. Let's try just a little bit more. Okay, there we go. So you want to see product ID there. Okay, so we did C, 16C. D, move the price field label. Price field label. Okay? Trying to find price. There's price right there. Move the price field label to the left a bit so that the right side of the field label aligns with the right side of the field value below it. All right, so let me move that just ever. Again, I don't like the fact that it doesn't really, you just got to toy with it until you got it. There we go. All right, so that this box lines up with the value underneath it. Still don't like the fact that it doesn't show it to you as you're moving it. Okay, don't be picky, Steve. All right, step 16E, move the units case, okay, right here, field and field value box to the right a bit, then resize the label on its left side, increasing its width slightly so the label is fully displayed. So let's click here, hold down your control key, and it says to move them to the right a bit. So just ever so slightly yet again. There we go. And then it says to resize my label control. Let me read that again. Increase in it. Let's see. So then resize the label on its left side. So let's move this out just a little bit. There we go. So you can see the entire label. All right. Step F. Finally, 16F. Select the field value boxes only, not the field labels. So the field value box. So that, again, you have both. I'm going to bring this all the way up. All right, so I use my scroll bar to go all the way up to the top, and it says select the field value boxes only, not the field labels, for the following 4 fields. Supplier ID, so I'm going to click right there. That's the value box. Hold down my control key. They also want it for company, city, and category. Those 4. So select one of them, hold down your control key, and select the other 3. Then move the 4 field value boxes to the left until their left edges align roughly with the S in supplier. All right, so here's the S in supplier. We want the left edge to be lined up with that. So I'm going to get the little 4 arrows, my suction cup, click, drag over just a little bit. Not too far. Let's go back. There we go. It's not perfection. It's close enough, and that's good for me. All right. Let's continue to read on. Number 17. We're on to 17. Change the color of the report title text. Okay, that's this right here. Change the color of the report title text to that same gray 25% background too. So we're going to go to Format. We're going to go to Text Color, Font Color right there. And I believe we had to come all the way down here, light gray, background 2, darker 75, and I'm going to click. Okay, same as the form that we worked with. That's 17. 18, insert that same picture. Move to the picture to the right of the report title. So basically the same thing we did before. So we're going to go to, let me see where I can find that. We might have to go back to Design View to do this, I'm believing. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Home ribbon, and we're going to go back to Design View. Okay? And if you recall, it was this logo option that we had. So we're going to click on Logo. We're going to go find that picture again, wherever you saved it. Again, I saved mine on my desktop. There it is right there, Items. I click OK. It puts it right on top of my title. If you recall the last time, we right-clicked on it. We went to Layout. Don't have to remove the stack, so we're fine with this one. So now all we have to do is click and drag it to the right of our title. There we go. Perfect. 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 That was step 18. 19. Apply conditional formatting so that the category field value equal to apply conditional formatting so that the category field values equal to supplies appear as dark red and bold. Wow, that's a mouthful. So what we want to do is we want to go to category right here. We're going to click on the field value box. Up here in the Format ribbon, under the Report Design Tools Format ribbon, we have conditional formatting right here. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to add a new rule. I'm going to say if the field value that I'm currently clicked on, which is category, drop this box down, equal to supplies. I want to make it bold, so I click the B for bold, and I go to the font color, and I'm going to pick dark red. Click OK, and click OK. So what this is going to do is, when I go back and look at my report, if I want to, any one of those that says category supplies, it will be bold and in dark red. Conditional formatting means it has to meet that condition. That condition being it has to equal supplies in order for the formatting to take place. Okay, that's pretty cool. That also comes from spreadsheets. For those of you that have taken spreadsheets, you probably like, oh, I didn't know that had it too. So let's go to, it's telling me in step 19 or 20, preview each page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my home ribbon. I'm going to go to print preview just to take a look at this report. And let's scroll down until we actually see one that is in red. So let's scroll down. I might have to go to the next page. So I'm going to click page 2 down here where I have my scroll bars and stuff, or my options down there. Still not seeing any red. Okay, go to page 3. Scroll up. I just want, oh, now see, I see one that says supplies. So I better go back and take a look at I'm glad I did this because obviously I did something wrong. Maybe I misspelled it. So I'm going to close print preview. I'm going to go back to format. And I'm going to look at my conditional formatting rule. See, I forgot the S. See, it's the simple things that get you. So what I have to do is edit my rule. I have to put an S on this. It was supplies. I was a bad person and didn't read my instructions carefully enough. Click OK. Click OK. Let's try this again. So I go to the home ribbon, print preview. Did Steve finally get it to work because he followed directions? And there you go. There's one right there, right on my first page. Category supplies, and so it's now formatted with bold and dark red. All right, I'm going to close print preview. Step 21 says save the report. So we're going to click the disk yet. And we don't need to print anything. We're going to close this. And we're down to the last step. It says compact and repair the vendor database and then close it. So file, compact and repair database, and then close the database. Okay, so that's the video for chapter 4, creating forms and reports. Again, if you find these useful, if you haven't done so yet, reach out to your other students in this course and tell them that you find these to be very beneficial. What I'm hoping to do is, have you have to wait less time when you send me an email saying, I don't know how to do this, or could you explain this? I'm hoping that we can avoid that because maybe I won't be on my computer for a long time, and I don't want you to think, oh, he's non-responsive. If you watch the video, you might not actually have that question then. So just an idea. I'm not saying I'm opposed to questions. I love questions, as a matter of fact, but just another way around it if you don't want to wait for my response via email. All right. Thank you and have a great, great